So my plan for this video is not this. I found a list of top 20 wrestlers of all time, and like I know very little about wrestling, but I've always thought they had pretty funny outfits. So I decided that I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the wrestler's personality from their outfits. So I'm not gonna do all 20, I'm gonna do the funniest one. Okay, so the first one is Dusty Rhodes, and he had a dream about being a bumblebee, but he didn't know that bumblebees had stripes and not dots. And sometimes he likes to wear shades, so he thinks that he looks good in a pink shirt that has the same color as his skin, because he likes to pretend that he's naked when he's wearing clothes. So that's why he chose a shirt with the same color as his skin. And sometimes he likes to mix it up with different colors on his dots, because sometimes yellow isn't enough. Sometimes you want to have dots that are pink as well. The next one is Andre the Giant, and he's quite a large guy. He's like Olaf, he likes warm hugs. He's always surprised because he never really fully pays attention. So like every time someone says something, even if it's a small thing, he's really surprised. In his spare time, he prefers to model for bathing suit companies. He doesn't really get paid and no one really hires him, but he shows up and he puts on a bathing suit, and he likes the crowd to cover his boobs because he's very self-conscious about his boobs, so he doesn't like them being on the camera. So the next one is Kurt Angel. He always looks a little bit uncomfortable because he always challenges people to a staring contest. Like, even if they're not in the staring contest, he'll just go up to you and be like... And his favorite thing to do in the spare time is staring contests. The next one is Kane. And Kane always wanted plastic surgery, but he never got it. He couldn't afford it. So he just found a mask that he thought like would improve his skin and facial structure. Made him look older, so he was a little bit sad. So after a little while, he chose to just shave his head instead and go for a new look. He thinks red is his color, but nah. And also his name is Kane because he used to have a cane, and it was his favorite cane. Actually, it was a stick, but he just like used it as a cane. And then a dog ran away with it once, so he cried for 4 days, and then he decided to name himself Kane. So the next one is Roddy Piper. His favorite shirt is the one that he always wears, which says Hot Rod, because he thinks one time he touched a really cold rod, you know, in the winter, and then his hand was stuck and he was like, God, I wish this was a hot rod. And then he was like, that's a good shirt. And then he started wearing a shirt named Hot Rod. And sometimes he likes to stick his tongue out because he doesn't know that Miley Cyrus already did that. So the next one is Brock Lesnar. He's always a little bit sunburnt. Wanted to be on Jersey Shore. But he couldn't find it, so he was like, well, I got ripped for nothing, so he started joining wrestling instead. His favorite expression is constipated. He always looks a little bit constipated, and he always has a fart he never lets out. So the next one is Macho Man Randy Savage. He dresses up like he's going to a rape party in case a rape party is happening. Sometimes he just put on a really flowy dress. It's John Cena, and he likes to show off how many fingers he has so that like people can count he's very generous. He thinks he's special for having 5 fingers. He gets really tired in his shoulder by holding up his hand like this, so sometimes he has to support it with the other hand. So the next one is our dearest friend, Hulk Hogan. He puts on a bandana because he likes to store food up his banana. So I don't really know how to say the name of this guy. I think it's Rich or Rick. Anyways, I'm just gonna call him Rick. So Ric Flair, his favorite thing to do is just find a lot of feathers and glue them on his clothes, because he really wanted to be a designer, but instead he just ended up as a wrestler because he was like, that was his fallback job. A lot of gold. He's not rich at all, but he likes to pretend. His favorite color is white, and like when people tell him that white isn't a color, he'll be like So the next one is The Undertaker, and he really wanted to be in a punk rock band, but they said no because he always wore a hat. He likes to sit in his room and listen to heavy metal and cry about how no one understands him. Sometimes he doesn't wear a hat, and that's when he really comes alive. You can see his party face when he's not wearing a hat. And when he gets tired, he just sits on the ground in his wife beater and just chills. So yeah, I managed to insult the entire WWE industry. You know, it's wrestling. I mean, they know that it's a little bit ridiculous already. I also hope you agree with my interpretation, especially since like it's very obvious what they're going for. Like, The Undertaker clearly wants to either be part of Nine Inch Nails or Green Day, and like Green Day in the mid-90s. So, you know, I just know.